All Boy Grapes here.
Hey everyone,
this week's
Boy Grapes
update,
here again.
I'm Boy Grapes. And for this week, we're going to be diving into. Okay, yeah, especially if you've seen my videos before, you might be asking yourself, who the hell is Boy Grapes? My name is Sean Grapin. I'm 22 years old, and this is my story. Unlike a lot of musicians, I didn't grow up in a very musical family. It's been quite the road so far. So let me tell you how I got here.
Is this good? All right, my name is Boy Grapes. So I'm gonna play a little bit of music for you guys.
I'm born and raised in the Washington, D.C. area. I was raised on microwave meals and whatever was on the radio. I wasn't poor, but definitely not rich. Life was kind of simple until my parents split. And at that point, I was 12 and I began to, feel things. And I felt really directionless as a chubby, loudmouth kid who had a stressful home life, who wasn't particularly good at anything. But everything changed when I saw my first rock show in high school. I loved the music, the energy, how much everybody valued just being yourself. It was at that moment I knew I had to be in a band. I figured the easiest way to do that was to pick up the bass. At 14, I went on Amazon and got the cheapest one I could find. When I tore open the packaging, I was just so full of awe and excitement until I held it and I realized I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I did what anyone would do, I guess. I hopped on YouTube and typed bass lesson for beginners. I still remember sitting in the living room watching this video, learning what a fret was. I spent the rest of that night just playing and playing until I literally couldn't play the day after, and it just devolved from there. I then bought and taught myself guitar and drums when I was 15. I would jam at my dad's church every weekend. I've been through thousands of YouTube lessons, and that opened a whole nother rabbit hole. I would just find whatever music I could and listen to it whenever I could. Yeah, I was that kid who had his headphones on 24/7. I tried jamming with some friends, but that never went really far, but instead it sparked my love for songwriting and producing. I started making my own music, dropping demos in 2018 as Sean Thomas. That's my middle name, using nothing but my phone and the mic on my Apple earbuds. It wasn't very good, but it was a start. I met some music friends online and we had the stupid idea of each of us being Boy something. With my last name being Grapin, Boy Grapes had this weird, memorable ring to it. I mean, growing up, people would always call me Grape Man or Mr. Grape, so I figured why not get my lick back and own it, None of that early stuff lasted very long. Most of it ended up on my first album, Limelight, and the Boy Grapes name stuck. My first real passion project was A Portrait of Daisies, and both of these I recorded entirely on GarageBand for iOS when I was still in high school. But this one was a real labor of love that took months of learning, trying, and experimenting, and got me through a real rough point at 17. I made my own CDs. I remember I burned the music onto here in the back of class with my English teacher's disk drive. I printed these covers on my photography class's printer. I only sold like 7, but I found so much fulfillment in playing what I'd made in front of the same small audience that inspired me to begin with. I realized around that time music was what I was meant to do. COVID hit right before my high school graduation, so before going off to music school, I got myself a computer, some mics, and started diving deeper into production. That's when I made Fue and later Jaeger. Then things really kicked off when I moved to Boston to go to the Berklee College of Music. That's where I recorded Virginia, the first project that felt like I was really making something worthwhile. I refined my sound, ramped up my recording and live performance schedule. I brought on a band and learned what I can bring to the table and what others can bring to my table. For my album Soil, I was really pushing myself to try new things, and it really felt like a culmination of everything I'd learned so far. After that, though, I wasn't doing too great. For the first time in years, I couldn't come up with or have any music I wanted to work on. My issues with addiction were getting worse, and I didn't feel like doing anything. I was going through a pretty bad breakup, and my financial aid was going to run out. I was on pace to fail a few classes, and turning 20 really scared me. Long story short, it didn't work out, thankfully. I got the help I needed and realized how superficial some of those problems were. Being able to talk to someone for the first time and accept their support was huge for me. I really don't take that new lease on life for granted, but the lease on my apartment said I had to go somewhere else. So I moved back home to finish my degree online, which is like a third of the cost, so it works out anyways. That experience helped me make my album Rocking Horse, and I found a lot of healing through doing venue work at the 930 Club here in DC. As I keep moving forward, it's definitely different from Soil, but that's what keeps it exciting. Now I'm always working on something new or collaborating with local artists. I'm in my last semester of school, so I can't wait to have more time on my hands for that. That's a bit about who I am and what Boy Grapes is, I guess, and I'm hoping you tune in on this journey. If you want to hear more of what I'm working on, check out my latest EP, and stay tuned on the series of me making my next album. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. As always, I'm Boy Grapes.
Later.